Nice crowd, beautiful day. That was Roger playing the flute, Roger McGee. I get the privilege of announcing some of the people for this ceremony. I'm Malcolm Finney. I'm the director of Valley Bronze down the road, the gallery. I'm also a board member at the Wallowa Valley Arts Council. And part of the Arts Council job is to help in selecting and placing pieces here on the downtown street, the beautiful bronzes that you see. About in November, we were approached with a proposal at the Arts Council about a piece that somebody wanted to donate for the main street as a memorial piece. And now we have that. And I'm about ready to announce the donor of that piece, but I want to tell you that it took me a little bit to learn about the donor, and I'm still learning some things. I just met her today, but found out that she's very involved with different philanthropic things. She's a great, she's a very charitable person, a very generous person. So this is a beautiful act of generosity here. But I just want you to know that her generosity goes way beyond this. And I'd like to introduce her to you now. Her name is Christy Walton. Also, on behalf of everybody, thank you very much.
Thank you, Malcolm. Thank all of you for inviting me here today. I'm going to have to read because I get nervous up here. I wanted to talk a little bit about art. It's interesting to me how civilizations are judged by it. If your house is on fire or the flood's coming, you grab your children and you try to save your art as well. And especially how art creates commerce. And you here in Joseph have sort of defined your town by your art. And I think that's just a wonderful thing to do. I want to tell you a little bit about my friend Georgia Bunn, the sculptress of this magnificent piece. She's full of fun, along with integrity, compassion, and loyalty. Georgia has a willingness to try new things, and along those lines, she does it with passion and industry. She began sculpting a short 3 years ago, at a time in her life when a lot of folk began to seriously consider retiring. And against the advice from those in the industry who know, regardless of people who told her she was too old to be an artist now, Georgia put her head down and she went to work. She quit her job. She began studying, doing research, taking courses. Of course, she couldn't tell some of them that she was a woman or she couldn't have gotten in. And you will see today that that hard work has paid off. The woman has talent. And you're being presented with this regal sculpture of young Joseph, represented as he was, a peaceful man whose people were driven into a corner, a man who was given the trust of his people to lead them from their home in this valley to what they hoped would be freedom. Freedom to walk the land, to come and go, to be safe in their home. Because of his skill, his military tactics are still taught at West Point. But you all know this story. You know that until the end, he only wanted to return here, to have his bones returned here, to be by his father in the land that he loved. But back to Georgia, who at a time of choosing in her life, chose to take a chance, a challenge, and to reach forward in a new direction. Georgia chose to sculpt this chief, Joseph, the military genius, the eloquent man who led his people and who in the end died of a broken heart. Today he's almost home, his presence represented by the sculpture before you, created by someone in a different generation who, as you do, still cares. My friend, George Bunn.
Christy and I and Malcolm also want everybody to know that the monument honors Chief Joseph and all Nez Perce that are his family here today. Public art can't happen without a benefactor. You've met her, and without a foundry. It just stays in our studio as clay, so Valley Bronze has just knocked themselves out, and all the artisans that work at Valley Bronze to make this happen. And Malcolm for orchestrating everything. Thank you.
I'd now like to introduce Katie Jackman Tyndall. She came all the way from Washington, D.C. for this. Katie is part owner of Valley Bronze of Oregon, and she is also a staff attorney for the National Congress of Native Americans. American Indians.
Thank you, Malcolm. Well, hello everyone. Again, my name's Katie Jackman Tyndall, and I am a partial owner of Valley Bronze of Oregon. On behalf of Valley Bronze, I would first just like to say thank you for allowing us to be part of the production of this sculpture. I want to give special thanks to the artist, Georgia Bunn, for her creation of this magnificent piece, and to the donor, Christy Walton, for her vision to create this piece, as well as for its placement here in Joseph, Oregon. I also want to recognize the incredible team at the Foundry, at the Valley Bronze Foundry, for all of their hard work in helping to bring this sculpture to life. They did a fantastic job, and they all deserve a round of applause from us. For those of you who don't know me, I was born and raised here in Wallowa County. I grew up down the road about 3 miles. I attended Enterprise Public Schools from kindergarten all the way to high school. And like many of my classmates, I learned about Chief Joseph and the Nez Perce at a very young age. I learned that the land that I call home here in the Wallowas was also once home to the Nez Perce people and to their great leader, Chief Joseph. Chief Joseph, the man, embodied many characteristics to which I think we would all hope to aspire. Strength, wisdom, dignity, courage. And Chief Joseph, the legacy lives on today, not only in our history books, but through the Nez Perce people, in tribal nations across the country, and in the great many contributions that Native Americans, our nation's first peoples, have made and continue to make to American society. As Malcolm said, although I'm here in my capacity today as partial owner of Valley Bronze, I am also a staff attorney for the National Congress of American Indians in Washington, D.C. NCAI is the oldest, largest, most representative national organization made up of American Indian and Alaska Native tribal governments. And so I have the privilege of working on a daily basis with tribal leaders across the country to protect the sovereignty of Indian tribes and the individual rights of Indian people. And so that is why this sculpture to me and everything that it represents is so significant, both on a personal level as a daughter of Wallowa County and a professional level as an advocate for Native people. In my time at NCAI, I've learned that continuity of time and connectedness to the land are very important to Native people. And so I am honored to be part of this symbolic return of Chief Joseph to his land here in the Wallowas, the ancestral land of the Nez Perce. Before I go any further, I want to also recognize and give special thanks to the Nez Perce tribe for their support of this project. Although he couldn't be here with us today, I don't think I see him in the crowd. I did speak to the tribal vice chairman, Brooklyn Baptiste, earlier this week, and he conveyed to me the tribe's support for the project, but also their appreciation for this special recognition of one of their great chiefs. And I might add that if there are any tribal elders in the audience or representatives of the Nez Perce Tribal Council who wish to give a few remarks, we would welcome you to the microphone immediately following the unveiling of the sculpture to do so. In closing, I just want to say, you know, I've been around Native people long enough to know that they don't always speak in terms of the here and now, but in terms of the 7th generation to come. They recognize the need for us to preserve what surrounds us at present for future generations, for our children and our grandchildren and their grandchildren and so on. And so I'm happy to know that bronze is one of those enduring metals that we all know withstands the test of time, so that this sculpture of Chief Joseph and all that it represents will be here for the 7th generation to come. With that, I just want to say thank you one more time on behalf of Valley Bronze, and I would like to turn the microphone over to the Mayor of the City of Joseph, Mr. Dennis Sands.
Thank you, Katie, and thank you for the donation I accept on the behalf of the City of Joseph. And it's just a great addition, and without the donations to the Sculpture Georgia, it wouldn't have been possible. Malcolm and the Art Council, I will accept this donation on behalf of the city. Great addition with the background of Mount Joseph in the background.
No, I don't need it.
I'm going to have Dennis do the honors. Dennis is the mayor, and also he was great in facilitating this whole thing and getting his staff to work with us.
Your attention, please. My name is Horace Axtel. I'm a full-blood Nez Perce. My grandmother was born here in 1871. When she had to leave here in 1877, she was just a little girl. But she was my grandmother. She told me the stories of this great man that we're honoring today, about his abilities, about his ways, about his language, and about the way he cared for his people. He talked every day to meet the sun, meet the daylight, up there where they lived. They all stood in line until the sun came up, and then they sang a song. But everything that I heard about this great man, when I come in here after the war was over, I was in the army, and I come here for the first time after I returned home. After that, I've been reading books, reading a lot of things about him, about his caretaking, about his way of spirituality. So for that reason, I follow this old spirituality that he had taught up here. He was a great man. But also, when they had to leave here, his heart was very broken. He went a long ways leading his people. He went clear down to Oklahoma. But still, the general that chased him off of his land kept chasing him. But they died. But he never got to come back here again. He went to the Colville Reservation and died there with his broken heart. Many of us Nez Perce feel the same way. Because my grandmother and her two sisters and her brother was all born over here. So that's why I come here. I came here the first time when I come back from the war, World War II. All this time, I've had that bother my heart. So I had to come back and see this land by myself. So that's why I come back here. All you people are nice. All you people are German, whatever nationality. But that makes me happy because that's just the way my people were. Generous, having friendship, always counting on one another to help. So that's the way I am now. And I'm really honored to be able to say these words on behalf of my chief, as I had studied his life, read all the books that's written about him, all the things that he ever done, all the horses that he had, all the cows that he had, cattle, the way he took care of his people here. So I'm really honored to be able to say these words to all you people because you are like my friends that live here, and I feel that way with me. I have no other feelings but the way we come together now. So we're people, and we are good people. I really thank you for letting me say these words. And this man will be an honor in my heart until my time comes. My grandmother told me the stories about him. So I'm thanking everybody for coming here to support this great man, the life he led here, and the way he took care of his people, all the way till the end. So thank you, everybody, and I'm glad to be able to say these words from my heart, because that's why I come here every year. My name is Horace Axtel. I was in World War II for 3 years, 5 days, and 9 hours.